In this video, I'm demonstrating the use of the set on less than instruction. That is the SLT. There's also an SLTI for immediate values. This is in 10.7 in your book, about halfway down the page. So take a look at the format for the SLT instruction. The value of S3 is compared with S4. If S3 is less than S4, T0 is set to 1. If S3 is equal to S4 or greater than S4, T0 is set to 0. So that's how you can manage the less than or greater than comparisons. In the last video, we talked about branch not equals and branch equals. Those are true instructions. SLT is also a true instruction. If you look on some of your cheat sheets, you'll find branch greater than or equal to, branch less than or equal to. Those are pseudo instructions. And if you recall, the difference between a true instruction and a pseudo instruction is that a pseudo instruction is a shortcut for the programmer. It is just easier for us to use, but behind the scenes, it's made up of more than one true instruction. Okay, so let's move over to Mars so I can show you a sample of how to use this in a loop. And I've already written a program that mimics this for statement here. So in this for loop, I'm comparing the value of T3 with 4. So that's an immediate comparison, right? So immediately you see SLTI can be used. And T3 is just incremented by 1. T3 is our counter. Inside the loop T4, this represents a shift, so it's shifting left by 1, and that shift left is also a multiply by 2. So we perform that statement and then display the new value for T4. So look at the cout. We have the value of T4 is being displayed, then the value itself, and then an end line is displayed. So we need to mimic those three parts to the display. In the .data, I've declared a variable for the statement, and I've declared a variable end line for the new line character. Now the .text. We start with initialization, but I want to just jump to 17 here where I have a label for loop. So when you set up your loop, you're going to have a label for loop. You're going to execute all these statements, and then you'll notice at the very end I have a jump back to loop. So it's going to go right back up to the top, assuming that the condition is met. You're going to stay in and you're going to keep executing. So that's really all it takes for the structure of the loop. Notice that the first statement is the set on less than. So this is going to perform the comparison, and that mimics a for loop or a while loop in that the comparison is performed first, then if true, the statements are executed. If you would have put this SLTI down on the bottom before the jump, it would mimic a do while statement because the comparison is performed at the end. Okay, so let's go line by line. Again, right before I begin my loop, I have my initialization for T3 and an initialization for T4. So I set T4 equal to 1 to begin. If T3 is less than 4, then T5's value is set to 1, right? Now we need to check what T5's value is. So if T5's value is a 1, keep looping. If T5's value is a 0, that's where this comes in, right? T5 compared with 0. Then exit the loop. So where does this exit label take us? Scroll down and it ends the program. So if T5 is a 1, we're going to go to the next line of code. The next line of code performs the shift. Remember, you're just multiplying T4 by 2 and then putting that value right back into T4. Display the new value. So here's the statement for the new value is, here's the value, here's the end line being displayed. Now increment your counter, and when you're done, jump back up to the top. Jump back up to the top and perform this comparison again. And that's it for the loop. This program can be found in Blackboard in the sample programs folder, so you can run it there. I'm just going to run it really quickly so you can see what happens. And you can see it just runs and executes the loop 4 times.